Kung ikaw ay nangangarap na bumili ng Alphard, pero ayaw mong mapagkamalang kasama sa Pogo, ito bilhin mo. The BYD EMAX 9 DM-I. Dual mode intelligence. Bakit? 2 beses siya matalino. Kahit tanga ka, matalino ka pa rin pag dala mo to. Grill na malaki, na parang may kaliskis. Bakit kaliskis? Kasi madulas. Bakit madulas? Para matulin. Meron siyang camera, merong LiDAR, may headlight na medyo chinito. Kasi gawa ng BYD, siyempre chinito nga eh. Brushed aluminum na 18-inch wheels na napakaganda at napakatibay, pero di maganda yung gulong eh. Ang pangalan niyan, GT. Continental dapat, para kaldag mayaman. LED turn signal sa side mirror para kahit may bagyo, nakikita mo yung ilaw. Napakalaking windshield para hindi mo masagasaan yung mga nasa harap. At automatic door na kahit walang tagabukas, pag pinindot mo, bubukas siya. Bakit? Di ko alam, bubukas eh. Captain seats na merong 2 tray table. Kasi yung iba, isa lang ang table. Napaka-unfair. May rep sa likod para pag kailangan mong uminom at hindi ka uhawin, meron nakalagay dyan sa sarili mong rep. Merong cup holder para pagkatapos mong uminom, hindi mo hawak-hawak. Alam mo bakit? DMI nga siya eh. Dual intelligence. Ang tanga mo naman, pag hawak mo pa yung ininom, tapos ka na uminom. Di ba? Napakagandang captain seat, napakagandang headrest, kahit kalbo ka, hindi dumidikit. Bakit? Hindi ko alam. Nauupo ako, hindi naman dumikit eh. Kalbo ako, di ba? Pero, napakagandang feature nito, ito. Merong massage, merong ventilated seats, merong heated seats. Hindi ko alam saan magagamitin yung heated seats dito. Siguro kung may rayuma ka, pwede yan. Pero yung massage, malaki matitipid mo para hindi ka na pumunta sa sauna. Merong 18-speaker sound system, itong premium model nila. At napakaganda ng tunog. Hindi mo na kailangan palitan. Kahit maganda ang Alpine, hindi mo na kailangan eh. Okay na to. Tapos, yung paborito ni King Panda, yung glove compartment na palihis. Isa pang magagamit mo dahil palihis. Aircon louver sa likod na paborito ni King Panda kasi pwede mong i-adjust. Pero, yung aircon sa harap, hindi ko type. Kasi, pinapawisan ka na nga. Kailangan mo pang pindot-pindutin para tumapat sa mukha mo. Pero meron siyang dual wireless charger, may Apple CarPlay at Android Auto na wireless din. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman budget eh. Kaya meron. Pero, itong rearview mirror, kita mo na naman yung pangit sa likod eh. Hindi type ni King Panda. So sana iba na lang kinabit nila. At kahit may sunroof siya at masa-sunburn ka, pwede mong isara para hindi mangatay ulo mo. Kasi kung kalbo ka, very sensitive yan. Nung una, ayaw ni King Panda to kasi pag nasira yan, paano bubuksan yung pinto? Pero nalaman ko, meron pala nito na manual latch. Gusto na naman ni King Panda. Kasi hindi makukulong sa loob. Napakalaking spoiler para pag tumatakbo, seamless ang hangin at matulin. May rear camera. Hindi ko alam kung CCTV yan. I think si Queen Panda nanonood eh. Napakalinaw na taillight. At pag pinindot mo yung remote 2 beses, bubukas yung pinto sa likod. Yung banyo ba may ganyan? Wala, di ba? Kasi hindi budget to. Pero mura. At 2,998,000, sulit na siya. Ang pinakamaganda, yung trunk. Kasya si King Panda. Pag pinindot mo, sasara mag-isa. Alright, Guys and girls, we are back reviewing another van, pamilya na BYD. So this is called the BYD EMAX 9 DM-I. Kanina ko lang nalaman, ang DMI ay ibig sabihin is dual mode intelligence. Dalawang beses siya matalino. So kahit bobo ka, tatalino ka pag drive mo to. Kasi matalino siya. Bakit siya dual mode intelligence? It's basically kind of a hybrid engine, but they call it a hybrid system, but they call it the DMI. It has a battery and at the same time an ICE, an internal combustion engine. No, it efficiently changes from electric to fuel depending on what the most optimal time to use it, diba? So siya na nag-judge ko. Sabi nga, matalino nga eh. Kaya hindi mo na kailangan maging matalino, di ba? Yung kotse ng matalino. Kasi marami sa atin hindi talaga matalino, di ba? Lalo na pag tumitingin ka ng comment sa Facebook, ang dami talaga hindi matalino. So kung bumili ka nito, sipin mo 2 beses ka matalino. Dual mode nga. Hindi ka talaga magiging tanga. Pero I've been driving this car for this van for a day, and guys, there's something to be said about new technology vehicles, which is what they call new energy vehicles, like this that BYD has. Even with the internal combustion engine and with the electric motor, you feel na there's less vibration on the car. Kahit yung mga hybrid na mga Japanese, hindi pa rin sila ganun ka-efficient eh. Like this one, it has 76% battery and 50 liters of fuel. It has a range of 945 kilometers. Guys, hindi ko alam sa isang araw kung saan nyo dadali ng 945 kilometers. Dahil dito sa Manila, hindi ko alam saan kayo pupunta 945 kilometers. Hindi nyo mauubos yan. So, it's very efficient because mas matipid. The comfort level of the vehicle, there's some things that, guys like me kind of cannot get used to. Number one, it's information overload. Ang dami. Pag tinignan mo yung screen, akala mo naglalaro ka ng Donkey Kong eh. Ang dami ng mga nakikita. But then again, it's something that you need to get used to because yan ang bagong trend ngayon. So, nandito tayo sa favorite area natin na panghataw. Ang smooth, Ang pickup niya is very smooth. It's not, guys, this is not a car that you're gonna go 0 to 100 all the time. It's a van. It's a people mover. And the acceleration, ang ganda for a van, ha? Smooth lang siya. Pero syempre, lalo mo siyang tinatapakan, lalong nauubos yung battery mo at fuel. So, kayo magrereklamo kung mas iikli yung range pag lagi nyo hinahataw. But, this is not the type of vehicle na ihahataw mo lagi eh. Suwabe na suwabe yung pickup no? Ang ganda ng takbo, ang ganda ng kaldag. Naka-Continental ba to? Hindi, no? Hindi? Okay. Hindi siya kaldag mayaman. Paltan nyo ng Continental to, guys. Magiging kaldag mayaman to. It rides very well. There are certain vans, I'm not gonna name some brands, but there are some vans na even in the Chinese-made vehicle space, that I've driven, na hindi pa rin ganun kaganda ang suspension. But this van definitely does the work. Hindi naka-air suspension to, guys. So, naka-multilink. It has McPherson struts and McPherson struts ang front ata and multilink suspension in the rear. Even the body roll of the car, obviously, this is not a car na iskwala mo, di ba? It's a people mover. Subukan mo iskwala to, batukan ka ng asawa mo sa likod. Or batuhin ka ng bote ng anak mo kasi titilapon sila sa left side or right side. But ang ganda ng ride niya. This is so different. Yan guys, it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Hindi siya budget vehicle kaya hindi wired, wireless naman. The air conditioning na hindi ko ma-adjust dito. Kailangan punta ng screen para itapat sa mukha ko yung hangin. Minsan hindi mo talaga makuha lalo na pag nagda-drive ka. Tapos nasa humps ka, gumaganon yung kamay mo eh. Hirap eh. The safety features on the vehicle is very advanced. Subukan ko na humihinto siya. If there's somebody in front, ayaw niya talaga sagasaan si Arthur eh. Subukan na namin eh. Natrasan ko si Arthur, humihinto yung auto eh. Ayaw talaga eh. The crevices, pero mas gaganda to kung naka-Continental. Pero the ride is, the suspension is great. Ayan, natin mo. Maganda siya. Nag-flex yung auto. Hindi siya stiff. Although sa ibang bagay, okay yung stiff. Pero dito hindi. The steering wheel is very comfortable. I mean, it's typical BYD. And the choice of materials, it's very classy. And that's one thing I could tell about all these Chinese manufacturers. Unless, it's a budget vehicle talaga. The Chinese manufacturers make it a point na ma-appreciate mo yung sasakyan based on the materials that they use. They have made taste. Like I said sa ibang video ko, maraming mayama walang taste eh. Na, hindi ko alam kung may COVID o wala. Pero walang taste. They went out of their way to design the cabin just right, na hindi overly ostentatious. We've reviewed other vehicles, like for example, the Hongqi. It's a little ostentatious, sobrang daming chrome. But ito, the use of black piano finish, muted stainless buttons. Hindi siya gaudy. So, very elegant ang dating. Diba? Ang suabe. The real test of this vehicle is when we go through sub-Saharan White Plains. Malalaman natin kung hanggang saan. Diba? Buti na lang walang baha ngayon. So, minsan bumabaha dyan eh. Diba? Pagdating sa humps, ang ganda ng kaldag. Sarap tumakbo, no? It's, the cup holders are just perfect. One of the things na medyo hindi lang ako nasanay kagabi, when I sat in the car, inahanap ko, ina-expect ko siya mag-start mag-isa. Hindi, may start-stop button. Which is great because yung rocks, pag sakay mo, nag-on na siya mag-isa eh. Kung ayaw mo siya mag-on, di ba? So mag-isa na siya nag-on. Ito, at least you have that option na i-on mo pa siya. You turn it on, start or stop. So ito na. We're going through sub-Saharan White Plains. Diba? Pero ito, maganda yung suspension. It's soft. It's soft enough. Diba? I mean, compared to other vans, it's very quiet. Obviously, it's a DMI. It would be interesting, which is tomorrow, we'll be taking this on a trip to Pampanga, and we'll see how it fares out and how it is sitting in the back. We'll compute the fuel efficiency of the van on a normal pace of driving. Hanggang saan siya? Kasi pag traffic, like yesterday, you guys experienced ilang oras? 3 hours pa uwi, no? 3 oras. Para kayong pumunta ng Singapore eh. It's very smooth. Ang ganda. Suspension niya, ganda. And the features of the car, I mean, it has LiDAR. Kung LiDAR, I think it's LiDAR. Tad shy of 3 million pesos. There's no other van in this space that I think can compete eh. 2998, you have, there's a lot of people will say, mag-Alphard pa rin ako. But it's different eh. People who are very loyal to the brand, the Toyota, they will always buy Toyota. Kahit na anong technology na sabihin mong mas maganda, they will still buy what they're comfortable with. But for the people who are looking to, I think, save about $1.3 million and at the same time get better features, better fuel efficiency, have something that's a little bit more stylish, I think, kasi even the back seats are very nice, very comfortable. There are just some things that I don't like about the interface, and I'll go over it later on when we do a walk around. But overall, the van, I mean, riding and driving it, majority sa atin dito sa Pilipinas, we buy a van and then we have a driver because most of us don't really drive it, mostly drivers, Like a Super Grandia, I will never drive it. Upo lang ako sa likod. But this is the type of van that, even pang everyday ng kids going back and forth to school, or your wife running errands, this is a van that the husband or the dad can drive on weekends because it's a fun car to drive. I mean, I'll probably know more tomorrow when we drive it. It's hindi ka mapapagod, and it's something that I think people need to realize, that you can't compare other brands from other countries the same way you will compare to this one. Iba na yung technology, iba na yung features. It's a more superior van. I mean, I've driven the Alphard, I've driven the other vans like the GAC M8. It's also a good van, but it's not a hybrid. You don't get the same fuel efficiency as you do with this van. So, guys, the test drive, it's really easy for me to verbalize all the things that are going on when I drive the vehicle, but it's really a lot different when you get the chance to drive it yourself. Ultimately, you make the decision. Ultimately, you're gonna write the check, not me. All we can do as people in social media is to inform you about what's available and pique your interest to the point that it will entice you to come to the dealership and at least take a stab, because there's so, guys and girls, there's so many choices now out there. If you confine yourself to tradition, you're missing out. I mean, I just had a conversation with my dad. Sabi niya, ganda ng van, ganda. Sabi, magkano? Sabi ko, 2,998. Mahal naman. Because, I think the older generation has that preconceived notion pa rin na, hindi, Toyota, subok, ganito, ganyan. I'm not ragging on Toyota. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The reason why they're more expensive is because they have legacy costs. Okay? Ano legacy costs? Meron mga 70-year-old na mga empleyado ng Toyota na matagal nang retired na hanggang ngayon binabayaran pa nila. So who do you think pays for that? When you buy an Alphard, you buy a Land Cruiser, you buy a Vios, because they have to carry that cost. Hindi naman pwedeng libre yun, di ba? So you end up paying for it. New companies like BYD and all the other car companies don't have that baggage. So they're able to give you more technology, more features, and more research. That's why they keep buying companies. They keep researching other technology because they can afford it. They're not paying for other people to keep on payroll, even if they're not contributing to the betterment of the company anymore. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying these are things that you have to take into account. And hindi puwera mas mahal, mas maganda. We should be thankful that a lot of these companies, irregardless of where it's made, leave the politics out of it. Guys, when you compare vehicles, compare technology, compare build, and compare the experience of driving it. Kaya lagi kong sinasabi, don't take somebody's word, especially mine, when you decide to buy something. Our job is to inform and to hopefully pique your interest based on our experience to hopefully bring you to a dealership and at least test drive the vehicle, because ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, kayo magdi-decide, right? So, guys, that's the BYD EMAX DM-I. Sobrang talino because 2 beses siya matalino. Dual mode intelligence nga, di ba? So, kung tanga ka, tatalino ka. Pag ito dalawa. Alright? Guys, let's do a walk around and we'll discuss more about the features of the car. I'll see you guys in a minute. So guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we just finished driving this amazing van, this BYD EMAX 9 DM-I. Why do they call it the DM-I? It's dual mode intelligence. So basically, the car determines which mode of power to use, either the internal combustion engine, which is a 1.5 turbo engine, or the electric motor. It has a combined range of a little bit over 1,000 kilometers between the electric motor and the gas engine. Let's go with the front. It has a very stylish design. A lot of people are gonna say na, kopya lang ng ibang cars. But I think BYD has done a great job in integrating a pretty stylish looking grille. Hindi siya typical na grille. So it gives you that space age design without being overly ostentatious. The choice of colors, the choice of materials, you have the subdued metal finish that doesn't really pop out, na hindi kamukha ng ibang mga van na sobrang daming chrome. It's stylish and elegant at the same time hindi baduy. The headlights are very synonymous to a lot of new vehicles now, but it's also extremely bright. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-upgrade or anything. LED headlights. You have the front camera, which is very, very clear. You have the LiDAR on top, which guides the car in terms of getting more information across to the driver. 18-inch wheels. A lot of people like the big wheels. Dito sa Pilipinas, the bigger the wheel you use, the more matagtag it becomes. So for me, especially in a van, you want to use as much rubber as you can. But BYD, for some reason, has incorporated style with function. Even with 18 inches on the wheel, mukha siyang malaki. And it's very proportional to the size of the van. If you look at the van from the side, hindi siya mukhang maliit yung mugs niya. So it still looks pretty imposing and bagay siya sa size. Ayoko lang yung goma. Sana gumamit man lang sila magandang-gandang goma like Continental. No? Kasi ginamit nila GT. Ito sa Pilipinas, gusto natin medyo magandang tire, di ba? So pag binili niyo to, bumili kayo ng Continental because it will make the ride even better. Now, it has LED side markers, a very stylish side mirror, typical camera, side cameras. The profile of the vehicle is typical of a lot of vans, but like I said, the choice of materials and the choice of texture, the choice of finish really defines the vehicle, especially on a white vehicle with this matte steel finish. No? Now, inside the vehicle is where the magic really happens. Inside the vehicle's interior is, like I said, where the magic really happens. No? You have a big screen like most BYD vehicles, but it's not overly imposing. Obviously you can customize the wallpaper and everything, but it's very easy to maneuver and very easy to use. The graphic user interface is simple enough. We've tried connecting to Bluetooth and it's extremely simple. You have your wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Pretty standard in a lot of vehicles now. The tech on this vehicle is insane. It has ADAS 1. I believe it has ADAS 2. The safety technology on the vehicle is one of the most advanced out there, like most BYD vehicles. It has everything you need to drive the car safely, and it's not overly confusing. Hindi ka pareho ng iba mga cars na sobrang hirap. The only thing, like I said, I don't like is the air conditioning adjustments, yung louvers. Sana hindi na nila ginalaw na kailangan pumasok ka pa sa screen. This rear view mirror, I mean, guys, you could at least make it to a point na naka-broadcast na lang siya because it's really distracting to have that. Napaka-high-tech ng sasakyan, and then you have something like this. It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't fit well. Again, it's something you can upgrade, no? But upgrade mo, gagastos ka pa, kakabit mo pa. So, yun lang. I think that they could have done a better job with the rear view camera. Initially, I was a little bit taken back with the door switch, the door handle, how to open the doors, the front doors. But there is a manual door latch. So at least kung magka-problema yung electrical, mabubuksan mo pa rin yung pinto. So I think that's a pretty good addition to something that's technologically advanced. They still have that touch of tradition na still gives you that function. The dashboard, you look at the layout, guys, it's very, for a car that's below 3 million pesos, you don't expect this type of amenity, the type of leather, the type of, yung bounce niyan, there's something that meron measurement ito kung gaano ka-cushy yung foam. It makes a difference when you're driving for a long time. Kasi pag sobrang tigas niya, mangangawit yung elbow mo. If it's too soft naman, you don't have the right support. So I think this has enough of cushion and support that even if you drive for long distances, okay siya. You have your cup holders here, and you have a pretty sizable center console that, this is probably the most genius design feature of a lot of Chinese-made vehicles. The reason, let me tell you why. The other vehicles that I've seen, meron dito. So it opens this way, it opens this way. But it's a little taxing. Ang laki-laki nung pinto, tapos gumaganon siya. Hindi mo lang gawin ganyan, mas madali. Another thing, the start-stop button. Even our Rocks doesn't have a start-stop button. So there are certain things in cars that I still want and don't want, but this is, I think, one that really is very necessary. Kasi gusto mo na pagpasok mo sa kotse, meron ka pa pipindutin para mag-start. At pag lumabas ka sa kotse, gusto mo rin na may pipindutin ka para mag-stop. And I think all EVs, even if it's electric, should have this. Sunroof, pretty standard. I like the touch na they use LED dome lights. I mean, these are not dome lights, but LED strips, maliwanag. Some cars still use yung yellow light, and it drives me crazy sometimes because you have to upgrade it. And these things, you can't upgrade anyway. So they took the liberty of making it LED na. So wala ka ng problema. Grab handles, very important. Sa driver, it's not that important because you're supposed to keep your hand on the wheel. Ito may grab handle siya. So sa akin, very important yan. I think cars, vans or cars should all have grab handles. It's something that we grew up with and something that's, I think, very traditional with vehicles. At some point, we used to call it the oh shit bar. The seats are very comfortable. I've sat in it. For the short time that I've sat in it, driven it, sat in the back, it's comfortable enough and it's firm enough, I think, na hindi ka mangangawit. And that's one thing I think that the Japanese car manufacturers, irregardless of brand, even if it's Lexus or Infiniti, they're not able to achieve the level of comfort sa mga upuan I think the Chinese cars have. A lot of the Chinese vehicles that we've reviewed, even the budget ones, have really good cushioning on the seats. Not so much that it's too comfortable, but it's comfortable and at the same time firm enough that you have support, even if you're driving it or even if you're a passenger, right? So I think that's another plus for a lot of the Chinese car manufacturers is they're very particular with the seats, the way it's contoured, the choice of foam, the hardness and the softness, the bounce, they've got it down pat. At least for me. I mean, to you guys it might be different, but for me, they've got it down. The choice of materials, you know, the way the ventilated seats are laid out, the stitching, the dashboard, everything is laid out perfectly, very elegant. So I think that's one thing that, if anything, that they can be very proud of. Even alam mo guys, even yung headrest, you know, the driver shouldn't even be putting their head against the headrest. But if you're a passenger, the headrest is just enough. You know, alam mo yung ibang headrest, yung pag humiga ka, puto, para mabubuhulan ka na. Diba? Kahit foam siya. Kasi it's the way it's contoured eh. This, it's just sinasalo yung likod ng ulo mo eh. Alam ko, kalbo ko, pero, you know, it's more pronounced for me because I don't have any hair. But it's comfortable. So, let's go on the back. Guys, on the second row, they have these captain seats. I'm okay with captain seats if they're wide enough because I'm a pretty big guy. These are okay, but ang ayoko lang ito, medyo restrictive. Sa rocks, medyo mas malapad siya. So, pag nakaupo ka kasi dito, ang hirap i-adjust itong, ang hirap hanapin. So, I would have opted if they put it outside, maybe dito. Sounds a little weird, but that's just me. Na, you know, they could have put it outside para mas madali siyang i-adjust. This one is pretty genius because hindi siya exposed. So, you have the slider that controls the massage, ventilated seats. You could make it warm or cold based on your preference. But there's a lot of adjustments here and it's pretty ingenious because at least it's hidden from plain sight and you just slide it. The second row is very plush. Like I said, I'm a pretty big guy, so for normal people, this would be perfect. Nahirapan ako magsaksak ng seatbelt. Pag nakaupo na ako, parang ang hirap isingit eh. I need to scoot over, but that's just me. They have these tray tables, which is a nice addition because if you need to work, you need to do something, it's right there. You know, sometimes you need to sign a check or whatever, sign something for paperwork. It's there for you. They also have this great feature, and it's a refrigerator here in the middle. You know, you can actually adjust the temperature. It can be a refrigerator or it can be a warmer. For some people who have tea, you know, they like warm tea or hot tea, you can make it into a warmer instead of a cooler. You know, and it's there. I guess for durability, you know, pag sara mo, manual na. They have the cup holder here, which is pretty nice. And you can adjust the seats from the back. Especially, I usually sit here. So, kung kailangan kong i-adjust because I want to lay back or do something, at least it's easy to adjust, no? The third row is pretty spacious. You can adjust the backrest up to a certain point na hindi ka nangangawit. So, it's good enough. I mean, for somebody like me, I would never sit in that back row. Hindi ako magkakasya. Kawawa yung upo dito kasi kailangan saksak rin sa harap eh. Bakit ka upo sa likod? Pwede naman dito, di ba? Guys, this van is pretty well featured for 2,998,000 pesos. Even the trunk space, as you can see in this video, si King Panda kasya buo. At pag pumasok ako sa likod, pwede naman pasaksakan ng golf bag at saka maleta. Kasi lumulubog ako sa loob. And I fit. So it has pretty sizable trunk space for a 7-seater van. And I think for below 3 million, it's something that you could justify. Like I said, the nearest competition to this van is an Alphard, which is 4.2 million. For those people who can't afford the Alphard or don't want to pay those prices, this is something that you really need to look at. At the same time, you get better fuel consumption. And at the same time, it's a brand that I think will last a while. So guys, go to your nearest BYD dealership. This is not at all a paid advertisement. I don't take payments from car companies. I review the car as it is. I tell you guys what I like and what I don't like. And sometimes if the car is really bulok, it doesn't even make the channel. So guys, you know, go to your BYD dealer, test drive this 2026 EMAX 9 DM-I. You know, as much jokes as I make about this car, it's a pretty solid car. The better technology, the more cars that come out in the market, the cheaper they're gonna become and more people can enjoy it for less price. All right, guys? So this is King Panda. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Please support the channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you guys on the next review. This is King Panda from Armored Panda Industries, and welcome to my kingdom. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch all the new cars, all the new reviews, and please do tell us what you want to see next. Thanks very much for supporting us.